My name is Jen Palminteri. I'm a pulmonary critical care physician in Portland, Maine. My parents are like New York City kids who decided to move to Maine. And we lived on a farm, and I had two sisters and a brother, and we played outside all day, and then our mother would like yell for us to come home. Like, I had a very idyllic childhood like that. And then I graduated from high school, somehow randomly decided a little bit that I wanted to be a doctor, which is a little bit weird, and then left and went to Holy Cross and then the University of Vermont, and then came back to do my training. And I love Maine. The person that inspires me the most is a woman named Melissa Scahan, who is the Vice President of Mission Integration at Mercy Hospital. And she is basically responsible for bringing people together to make sure that the underserved people in the community are taken care of. So that includes immigrants and people struggling with addiction and people struggling with poverty. And she is incredibly good at her job. She somehow figures out both how to find the money to do something, the people that are willing to do it, and then they're thanking her for having let them do it. So it's actually pretty amazing. She's a really great leader. I think it's very interesting to think about like the differences between men and women, which of course are myriad, but also the way that they lead is different. And built into being a woman and being female is like just this little bit of like insecurity, I think, that manifests as imposter complex or imposter syndrome, where you sort of don't necessarily feel like you have the right to be where you are, that maybe the entire room trusts you and thinks that you're good at your job, but that you maybe really aren't. It's a very unique thing, and it does happen to a lot of women. It certainly has happened to me and to other friends of mine. But it sort of makes you pay more attention and be more on your game and think harder about what you're doing and wanting to prove yourself. And I think that is important for the way that women lead other women, because we all sort of like recognize this quality in each other. Like, when women do that, they like support other women that are also up and coming. And so you like create new leaders in your leadership role. And I think that stuff is super important. Being a female physician is sort of a unique position. I think things have really changed a lot. I actually remember very vividly when I was a very early resident working at Maine Medical Center, and I went in to see a patient, and he asked me if I was the nurse, and I said, "No, I'm your doctor." And his response was, "You're a nurse and a doctor? Amazing." But I would say that over time, that kind of thing happens less now. You don't necessarily encounter situations where people sort of don't believe that you're a doctor or think that you are less qualified than anybody else. In fact, I think there's data out there to suggest that maybe lady doctors are better listeners. I'm not sure. I go out for meals a lot because I'm a terrible cook. And I would say that I have like favorite things to eat at a lot of different restaurants. So I want to eat the pad thai at Boda. I want to eat the khao soi at Honey Paw. I want the scallops at Scales. I want the fra diavolo at Street and Company. Anybody who will cook for me, I will let them. It's totally fine. My favorite little brewery, it's not a brewery, it's a dive bar. It's Tommaso's. It's amazing. I want to be known as a good doctor. I think that matters. That's a big part of my persona, is being a physician. And so I definitely want to be known for that. And then being a good friend, a good sister.
I love it. Okay.